Although we haven't gotten to the time of year yet where there's snow, and hopefully there's not going to be as much this year as there was 2 years ago. It is getting to the point where Matt and I can barely work after the sun sets just because the temperature starts to go down so quickly, and we basically have to be like tarped off in an area with the heater running. So today, what my job is to go to the hardware store and pick up sheets of insulation, and then we're going to use those to block off the companionway door where the sill is, the windows around the cabin top, just any openings so that we can keep the cold air out and heaters running inside. Because otherwise, our work days are going to get very, very short coming up here. Probably picked the worst day to do this, so it's the day before US Thanksgiving, and as I was coming across the bridge, across the Chesapeake, that can get backed up sometimes, but it was backed up for probably like 6 more miles. I have no idea how I'm gonna get home once I actually grab this stuff. Here we are at the Home Depot. Time to get our insulation shopping on. Here's what we need. Just a little blocked. Alright. This is what we need here. Just have to get 4 sheets of it out. For the most part, I don't need perfectly straight panels. It's not like I'm looking for 2x4s, but I don't want things that bend too much because I want them to be easy to cut and fit. Alright, so these panels are 8 feet or 96 inches long. The back of the Pacifica can only fit about 75 inches, so I'm going to have to take a couple feet off just to be able to get them in and close the door. Oh well, can't get that last one back into place. Now, just need to find a cart and check out. Put one piece on the ground, and then try to get the other in there. That wind is certainly fun. Last piece going in. Looks like I made it back just in time for sunset, so it's about to get really cold. Let's go in the tent and see if Matt still wants to get these installed tonight, or at least start the process. Got a lot of open spaces here till we get doors and windows in, which is going to be wonderful for once we're cruising. But for this winter, we need to close everything off and keep it warm in here. So now the goal is to start moving stuff and getting that insulation I purchased yesterday, covering all of these open spaces.
Totally thought we wouldn't be doing it this year. I mistakenly at the end of last year threw all the stuff away because of
Very
course there was
naive.
zero chance that we were still going to be
At this stage.
At this stage. I thought we'd have windows in, I thought we'd have doors made, I thought a lot of different things, and we are behind schedule now. So that's a mistake that I think all boat builders make, and it's one that we definitely made as well.
Alright, let's start getting sheets out of the car. Does not like cold weather.
Apparently this includes struts.
Yep. Alright, I will hold this.
Alrighty.
You pull out. Alright.
7 and a half.
Fit into place now. There we go. Nice and tight.
Man.
Look at our front door. Back door.
Yeah, isn't that pretty? I did make it just slightly too tight.
A little tight.
Yeah, but now it's bowing quite a bit.
That's fine. And now we're just left with a little opening here, which will get covered with a tarp. Allow us and other things to get in and out. So, time now to address all these windows.
All those windows.
All these beautiful windows. For the forward area of the boat where it kind of goes into a cone shape, instead of filling each of those windows in individually, we're just going to block off the whole area. So you can see we've got kind of an odd shape here, but did it last year, worked well. Okay, let's check out this forward panel. See how all of our measuring and cutting did to fit it in place. Close up that entire area because we don't want to heat it.
So yeah, if you kick that in, that will then close that gap, hopefully.
Okay, I'll go around the front and do that.
So start hitting in this area because that's where it's binding up right now. There you go. That's bucket.
It's getting darker in here, but also warmer. Gentlemen, just remember that your wife is always right. So when Matt had given me the measurements, he was worried about the height of these doors, which I think is like 77 inches. So he was telling me, we gotta make it 77, but only 74 inches could fit in the back of the Pacifica. So I cut it down to that.
Wrong. She could have moved the seat.
And so we had the sections at the bottom and whatever I ended up cutting off. So I had to tape these together. But Matt, what happened with the other sections that I cut off the bottom?
We would have been short quite a few sheets. We would need at least another sheet or two of the stuff. But it just so happens that the offcuts that Jess did fit like
Perfectly in there.
in that spot. That is unbelievable that she stumbled into perfection as always.
Intuition, 74 is the magic number. I was right.
Just look on the outside, tracey trace.
Yep. So funny as these things start to get filled in, how much smaller the space feels.
No. Feels more homey.
So much more homey. Come under the little corn. Perfect. Stop. I think we're good. I'm gonna pound my corner in just a little. Nice. That is amazing. That is just. Mwah. Natural light, basically gone now.
Yeah.
Back to spaceship theme.
Yeah. We did a really, really good job with the sides.
We did.
Did an okay job with the front and the back. It's time for lunch, and we hurried through, and it's very evident, but that's right. A little bit of tape will cover it, and it'll be fine.
But now the good news for you viewers too is because we don't have the sunlight coming through the tent and doing all this color distortion, no more super yellow videos. Now that we are totally enclosed in this area, we can keep the heat in, but let's go through the ways that we can actually pump heat into the space to actually warm it up in the first place. One of the ways that we've been doing it last year, so this is our guest bed, and you can see where the hatch is. There is a little tube running through there. And this is where we have our diesel heater pumping heat in, so let me go back up on deck and have Matt show you quickly how that one works. We've got Matt midship here standing over that hatch, and you can see right there the tube.
So kindly ignore the cosmetics of this. It is not an attractive looking system, but it works. We used this last year, pumps out an absolute ton of heat. It's actually very safe as well. So we have a carbon monoxide detector that we have inside. Smoke detectors, of course, all those different things. We can make sure that we're safe while we're in there. But what this does is we're using the Jackery, the DC side of the Jackery. So this one will put up to 13 amps through this plug. We need about 10 to start this thing. Once it's running, it ends up using about 1.5, 2 while it's actually operating. But to get it that first initial fire, it uses quite a bit of power. So this works really well for that. We don't have to have any other plugs up here, anything else, because this is an AC unit. And then this particular one I got from Amazon, and the box got damaged when it was shipping. So the case is beat up and absolutely disgusting looking, but the internal part of it is still okay. Let it fire up. It's gonna take a minute. It's heating up right now.
And we've got the airplane taking off. That's how we know it's about to get warm.
Yeah, she's pumping heat already. Man, it's an ugly unit.
It works.
Oh yeah, that's pumping out some heat.
Mm-hmm.
What I like about these units is the combustion chamber is, of course, separate than the actual heating chamber. And it allows you to go through and you can actually look at it and inspect it and make sure that it is completely sealed. So it's just basically like a radiator. It's heating a radiator, the air is blowing past the radiator, and that's what's coming in here. So as long as you have a good intake of air, and you can get that exhaust out somewhere, it's good. It's a nice setup.
Oh, you can't see it? No, it's scrambled. That's in Celsius, so it's reading 15.3 degrees Celsius right now, which should be warm enough to work. So let's go down below and see if that hot air is coming in. Oh, yes, a nice stream of hot air coming through here. So on the really cold winter days, you'll just like find me under here soaking up the hot air. And this works really well, especially just working like in the center area, of course. On the other side, it does the whole hallway. But we also do have an extension hose, so if we want to bring the heat lower or more direct into a certain area, we can do it too. But last year, you know, just kind of like switching this out between a couple of the different above hatches, found out it works really well to quickly heat an area up and keep it warm. Okay, now we have ways to heat the area around us during application of products, but how do we keep those products warm when we shut down the tent each night and turn the heaters off? And Matt's gonna show you right here.
The answer is a wonderful igloo cooler.
You match.
Oh, we do. Nice. Accessorizing. I actually tried ordering a blue one and it was more expensive. So
Sure, it was like $1.50 more.
it was like $3 more, so it was red it is. So what we use is we use this heating pad. This is for like nurseries for
Not children.
no, yeah. This is for nurseries for rooting. So if you have plants that you're trying to get ready for spring, this is what you'd use to heat up their roots. The nice part about it is it's a completely waterproof pad. It's a low temperature type of thing too, so it's not too hot. It's not like a regular heating pad. And then it comes with this fancy little thermostat. And all we have to do is we put our resins in here. So things like that total boat, that structural resin, the fairing compounds, just actual jugs of resin. Put each one of those in here. Leave the temperature right around that 70 degrees, which is usually the best storage temperature for those types of things. In the winter, the stuff that we're using all the time gets stored in this, so we can make sure it's at proper temperature before we even start using it. And then the rest of the stuff gets bulk storage is in the men's bathroom at the marina here. They're kind enough to let us use a closet there, and it looks like a total boat showroom. It's just stacked with boxes of the stuff that we use all the time. We got a good supply there, and then each time we run out of something, we just swap it over, put in the new thing in here, and we're good to go.
I've got the pad in here, the temperature gauge there, and then
Little thermostat.
thermostat switch. Once that's plugged in, it will show the temperature and you can adjust.
Yeah. This is now year 3 of this.
So sad.
So sad. Year 3 of this, and it works extremely well for what we need every single time we come in there. It doesn't overheat the products. It is pretty consistent heat throughout the whole thing. And the nice part about it is with like the resin and stuff, as soon as you mix it up, it acts just like it does in 70-degree temperature. So it's not trying to guess how it's going to behave at 40 degrees or 50 degrees, which doesn't work that well with polyester resin anyway, but it just behaves the same, so we know how much time it's going to take before that stuff cures.
Resins sit all nice and pretty in there.
Set our temperature. 70. Set.
That's the number.
Set.
Okay. And now I get to keep all of our stuff warm. Hey there, sleepyhead. Why don't we get you outside for a walk, huh? Hi. Let's go outside for a little bit. I think you need some fresh air. Someone is quite nervous about car rides, but I promise where we're going is going to be worth it. You gonna sit in my lap while I drive? That's cool. Totally cool. Door on me. Today is about the last nice day we're gonna have to be outside, so I figured that Georgie deserves a walk in the park. Are you thinking you can jump that thing? Yeah, you used to. Hi. Just had our first squirrel sighting and I'm kind of surprised. Oh, here she comes that she hasn't started running after it yet. Oh, are you having fun, kitty? Georgie, that's the parking lot over there. Let's go to the water. Come on. Come on. This is a cat that does not want to be walked. Come on. Come on. Oh, such a good girl. There's only so long you can walk a cat for. much excitement at the park, I think it's probably time to get her home now, but definitely have to try this again.